It seems there is no reprieve yet for Telekom Malaysia, with MCMC naming TM the telco with the highest number of complaints. According to MCMC, TM, whose shares slid by 5% today, on news of its acting group CEO Datuk Baslan Osman's resignation, saw 7,949 complaints filed against it this year, up by 43% from 2017. MCMC says the complaints centered on consumer dissatisfaction, on pricing and unified service disruption, among others. Touching on the alarming decline in TM's services delivery, MCMC says TM's approach of handling complaints by citing technical limitations and requesting customers to exercise patience was not an acceptable course of action. It also called on TM to rationalize Unify and Streamix's pricing per Mbps. In response, TM says it is actively engaging with customers to address complaints and conduct its speed upgrading exercise. On its technology and pricing issues, it cites the limitations of the copper network and calls for talks with Putrajaya to explore potential collaborative options, among others, to improve its services. Former PM Datuk Seri Najib Razak was questioned for 4 hours by the MACC earlier today. The anti-graft agency did not officially give a reason for summoning him. However, according to Malaysia Kini, Najib was grilled over the €1 billion purchase of 2 Scorpene-class submarines from France in 2002, when he was defence minister. The deal allegedly involved kickbacks of about 540 million ringgit to a shell company with alleged ties to Najib's former aide, Abdul Razak Baginda, who may also be called in for questioning. Citing an unnamed high-ranking MACC officer, the news portal says the case has been reopened. However, Bernama has it that Najib was summoned over a solar panel project for rural schools in Sarawak. His wife, Datin Sri Rosma Mansor, was already charged last week with 2 counts of graft involving 1.5 million ringgit in relation to the project. Najib's former aide, Dato' Rizal Mansor, was also charged for soliciting and receiving bribes for himself and Rosma, amounting to 5.5 million ringgit in connection to the same project. MISC saw its third quarter FY18 net profit almost halve to 341 million ringgit on lower earnings in its LNG, offshore and heavy engineering divisions. Quarterly revenue was down 3.7% to 2.23 billion ringgit, as its LNG division saw lower earning days and charter rate following the contract renewal of an LNG carrier in October 2017. For the cumulative 9 months, the group's net profit declined by 49% to 972.8 million ringgit, while top line shrank by 16% to 6.4 billion ringgit. MISC announced a dividend of 7 cents per share. Going forward, the group expects the petroleum tanker market to rise in seasonal demand during the upcoming winter months. It says over the longer term, growth in ton miles that is driven by rising movement of oil from the Atlantic region to Asia suggests a more robust outlook in charter rates. Meanwhile, its LNG shipping unit will take advantage of the buoyant market conditions to lock in higher charter rates for 2 to 3 of its vessels, which are in the spot market. It is optimistic on the outlook for its offshore and heavy engineering segments. Pharmaniaga's third quarter FY18 net profit jumped fourfold to 15.05 million ringgit due mainly to recognition of corporate tax. The group said it recorded a slight 2.3% increase in revenue to 587.66 million ringgit on the back of higher demand from government hospitals and lower operating expenses. It declared a third interim dividend of 5 cents a share. For its 9-month period of FY18, the group raked in a net profit of 38.03 million ringgit, an increase of 19% from 32.02 million ringgit last year. Meanwhile, revenue was 4.5% higher at 1.8 billion ringgit. Pharmaniaga says it is confident of a positive outlook ahead, particularly in light of the Budget 2019 announcement. It says the increased allocation of about 29 billion ringgit for the Health Ministry reflects a strong commitment towards scaling up the healthcare sector. The group believes this certainly bodes well for its prospects, as it is well positioned to tap these opportunities. The previous government is said to have lost millions in potential income thanks to leakages from the issuance of unique vehicle registration plates. According to Transport Minister Anthony Loke, the BN administration had issued 39 unique plate number series. Each one could have garnered a potential income of 10 million ringgit. The Malaysia plate number series, issued in mid-2018 by the Pakatan Harapan government, for instance, garnered 13 million ringgit. However, Loke says the previous government granted NGOs permits to issue these unique series for just 1 million ringgit. Going forward, he says the government will no longer allow external parties to issue special plate series. Instead, the Road Transport Department will take over the tendering, which will be available online and in real time by early next year. The new system will be transparent, enabling interested parties to see the bids made by others and allow them to make counter bids. The winners will also be announced through the system. Loke says there are no plans to cap the final bid price.